And
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you a funny thing. A funny thing. I'll just tell you this. I never told this to anybody,
Huh. Tell
but
me, Rabbi.
I'll tell you something I never said to anyone in my life. So there are many words in Indonesian that are actually from Hebrew because they're from Arabic. So Indonesian is a very different language than Arabic is, right? But because Indonesia is home to the largest Muslim community in the world, more Muslims live in Indonesia than any other country. So there are a lot of
Correct.
Arabic words that crept into the Indonesian language, right? There are
Mm-hmm.
many, right? So because I know Hebrew, so when I hear a word in Indonesian that's really in Hebrew, it's the same word. I know that that word is not a Javanese word. That word doesn't come
Mm-hmm.
from Indonesian, but it actually traces itself back to Arabic, and Arabic is a very close relative of Hebrew. And there are
Mm-hmm.
many, many words that are both in Arabic and in Hebrew that are the same, very many words. So therefore, it's similar construct, very close language. So when I was in Indonesia, when I would hear a word spoken in Indonesian that I recognized from Hebrew, I knew that word traces itself back to Arabic, which is inside the Indonesian language.
Mm-hmm. Can you give me some samples of the words?
Sure, Rahman, of
Ah,
course.
Rahman.
Ra- Rechem. What? How do you say a woman's womb is a rechem?
I
Right.
see.
What does that?
Wow.
What does that mean? A womb. Why is the word rechem a womb where a baby
Mm-hmm.
is comes to life? Why is the word rechem and the
Mm-hmm.
word rachman same root,
Mm-hmm.
which means mercy? Why is a womb and mercy the same word? It's the same
Mm-hmm.
thing in Arabic, Indonesian, in Hebrew, same word. Why? What's the relationship? Listen carefully. When we ask God for mercy, what are we asking for?
Mm-hmm.
Are we simply saying to God, I'm sorry, I feel bad, like you go, please let me have what I want? Is there something
Mm-hmm.
deeper going on? Like, is God, heaven forbid, like an old man who just says, okay, I'll give you what you want? There's
Mm-hmm.
something more profound going on in mercy, in Rahman. What does it mean? When a baby is still inside his mother,
Mm-hmm.
in her womb, in her
Yes.
rechem, he did not do anything good yet. He wasn't even born yet. He did
Mm-hmm.
nothing good. But yet, God protects the baby in the womb. All the food the baby needs, all the protection, nice and warm, perfect temperature, everything's taken care of for the baby that's not born yet.
Mm-hmm.
Why would God provide for a baby something
Mm-hmm.
it does not deserve?
Mm-hmm.
A baby didn't do anything good yet. The
Mm-hmm.
baby in the mother's womb is not righteous. Why
Mm-hmm.
is God giving this baby all this protection, mercy, love, food, nutrition? Everything's taken care of, not
Mm-hmm.
because of what the baby did, but what the potential for the baby in the future. One day
Mm-hmm.
you can become great. When we go to God and ask for mercy, what we're really saying is the following. We are saying
Mm-hmm.
to God, don't judge me on what I did. I know I did the wrong thing. Would you judge me like a baby in the womb of my potential for the future? And that's what mercy is. Mercy is God saying that I believe in you,
Mm-hmm.
help you along, and I'm going to forgive you, not because you necessarily deserve it, but because of what you can do in the future, just like a baby in the mother's womb. Very, very
Mm-hmm.
beautiful.
Yeah, I see. I just know that, Rabbi. But I can tell you that many words from Arabic language, roughly at least about 1,500 words, Rabbi. At least. Yeah. So you are very correct that Indonesia has many Arabic language in Bahasa Indonesia. So how many words in Bahasa Indonesia that you learn, Rabbi?
That I learned, not a lot. Not a lot. I knew enough when I was in a taxi
Uh-huh.
that I could say Kiri, Kanan, right?
Oh, kiri,
Kiri,
kiri.
go
Kiri
left,
means
left, kanan, go right. You know,
right, yeah.
I knew what I needed to know, um, just to get where I needed to go. In truth, everyone around me was speaking English, so
Mhm,
it wasn't like I needed to learn Indonesian. So
mhm.
I learned just what I needed.
Apa kabar? How are you?
That's right.
Selamat pagi, good morning.
Yes, you bring back many memories.
So I really hope that you can come again to Jakarta, Rabbi.
I look forward to it.
Okay, so you mentioned that you learn Arabic language in Indonesia, right?
So let me explain that. That means there are Indonesians who wanted to teach me Arabic, and I would study. But in truth, I it was very difficult. It means, why did I want to study Arabic? Why? Kenapa? Uh,
Kenapa?
okay, okay,
Very good.
okay. So why did I want to study Arabic? Because there are many commentaries on the Quran, the tafsir,
Mhm.
right, that have never been translated into English. Okay,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the largest area of Islamic literature besides Sharia is the
Mhm.
tafsir, the commentary on the Quran. And
Mhm.
most of it has never been translated into English. Okay.
I see.
I mean, of course, the very famous tafsir, Imam al Tabari, that's been
Yeah,
translated, but the
yeah, yeah.
vast majority is not. And I wanted to be able to study it, to research. And
Mhm.
therefore, I wanted to learn Arabic so that I could study Islamic commentaries for myself
Mhm.
because there was no translation.
I
So
see.
the problem was that the level I needed to study Arabic at was not simply to make out a few words or to read it. And I thought, and it's true,
Mhm.
that because I speak Hebrew, so I have an
Mhm.
enormous advantage in learning Arabic because it's
Mhm.
not just any words are the same, but it's also the structure. This is a consonantal language. The root system is essentially the same. It's a
Mhm.
very similar languages. So if you speak Hebrew, Arabic is going to come much easier to you. So I thought, you
Mhm.
know what? Let me try to study Arabic so that I could read the tafsir and
Mm.
understand it, which has never been translated. What I realized in time is I have only a limited amount of time that to the level I needed to learn Arabic for what I wanted it for, that is to read the tafsir for myself, that it would just take too much time, and I abandoned it.
I
So
see.
you understand, right? So
So do you
what?
miss your Arabic teacher, Rabbi?
Yes, of course.
Remember this?
Hi.
Oh wow, Etika, how are you? She's the one.
Hi,
She's
Rabbi.
thank you.
We are
Wassalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. We are at the same team, you know.
Wow, that's
We
wonderful.
are at the same team, Rabbi. I gave him your email address so that you can have the give a speech in our country, you know.
Mm,
You
mm,
know, Rabbi, I saw your debate with Professor Solberg. It was amazing, you know.
thank you. It was
But by the
very.
way, Rabbi, there is an Islamic university,
Mm.
private Islamic university, and it's that foundation has the biggest Islamic boarding school. They want you to give a speech on Judaism. Once I gave the speech there, then if possible, then you can give a speech whether from online, or if it is possible when you are in Indonesia, then they would be glad that it will be highly appreciated if you can come there to give a speech on Judaism, because I often uh, give Judaism based on what I learned from you. You know, it has changed radically what I thought Judaism before I met you.
Hmm. Yeah.
I miss you
Siap.
so much, Rabbi.
I miss you too. And for you, the viewers, Etika is a very, very special and very smart person, very, very wise woman. And she began to teach me Arabic, and she incidentally worked very hard, not too hard, but to learn Hebrew, and she's very good. You, Etika, are very, very smart. God bless you with a wonderful mind and a wonderful.
Amen.
And yes, I look forward to coming back to Indonesia and studying again with my dear friends, and I look forward to it, inshallah.
Yeah. Thanks. So that
Thank you.
later I will contact you because that
Please.
they're students of Islamic in the Islamic department. They study Islams and they really want to know about Judaism. But I gave a speech on Judaism, but maybe it would be better if you are the one who gave a speech. They really want you to give a speech there. I mean, they are open-minded now about the Judaism. As I'm now, before I met you, I had a very misunderstanding on Judaism. You know what I thought is something which is not good. It was that which was not good. But until I met you, I have changed completely. That Judaism is in fact the same as Islam. It's Tawhid.
Right.
Okay, go
Rabbi,
on, Rabbi.
Well, thank you.
Rabbi, please come to Jakarta again. I will be the one who pick you up in the airport. Okay?
So I don't have to take Bluebird?
No, no,
You
no,
don't
no,
have
no Bluebird.
to.
I'll pick you up personally.
No Bluebird. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's good. All right. All right.
Okay, this is the surprise that I meant to you earlier.
Oh, thank you very much. That's wonderful. It's wonderful seeing you again. God should only bless you and strengthen you.
Yeah, I've
Okay.
been learning Judaism from Rabbi. I forgot how many years, since 2016 and before, until before you went back to Jerusalem, to Israel, or to US at that time.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I look
You know,
forward to it.
yeah, Rabbi, please go ahead.
No, I look forward to coming back to Indonesia,
Yeah,
studying.
we will pick you up. We will
Yes.
pick you up. And if you need accommodation for several days, we will prepare the accommodation.
Beautiful. Sounds wonderful.
So how's the synagogue? I mean, how's the apartment that which usually I come there for learning the Judaism? Is still
How?
there? I mean,
I don't know. I didn't look. You
um,
know, in
okay,
Jakarta,
because you have left then after
I
that.
have no idea.
All
I,
right.
I have no idea. That's
Because this Bu Elisafa is now in Israel, in Jerusalem.
the what? I didn't
Bu
hear.
Elisafa.
Yes, she's doing well.
Elisafa.
She's married. She's doing beautiful.
Yeah, I know.
Wonderful, wonderful
Wonderful.
family. Yeah,
All right. I'm glad to know that.
yeah. She's doing great.
Robbie is a very, very kind person, you know, Pak Dondi. He
Of
even
course.
prepared me for my buka puasa, you know.
Wow,
He
really?
fried the salmon, what is it? The salmon
With the
fish,
salmon
yeah,
fish.
yeah, for me, prepare for my fasting. During I learn my Hebrew with him.
Mm.
You
Masya
know, he
Allah.
always prepare my buka puasa and serve me with very good food. And then
Masya Allah.
when sometimes we went to restaurant, the sushi, what's the name? Sushi Tei. But Rabbi only order the vegetables and
So, Rabbi, you are a
pick
good
up
cook?
some.
I'm a very good cook.
Masya Allah.
Yeah, very nice, you know.
I'm an
Delicious food from Rabbi.
yes.
Oke, Bu Etika, tadi kan saya lagi tanya jawab gitu ya sama Reboy gitu ya. Pertanyaan-pertanyaan itu kan yang memang kita sering kita sering ajukan kepada atau orang-orang Muslim di luar sana juga sering ajukan kepada Reboy. So tadi banyak sudah kita kirim pertanyaan ke Rabbi Topia Singer. Masya Allah jawabannya tadi semuanya mantap Bu jawabannya.
Mantap, you know, mantap, Rabbi. It's very satisfying. Your answer is very satisfying. That's mantap.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so now I'm going to start to ask the questions from the audience, yeah, Rabbi.
Okay.
Okay, so I will choose some of the questions. One questions from the audience. The name is Si Kuncung, yeah. The questions is roughly like this: Why Jews do not accept the Septuagint, and when Septuagint officially become the Old Testament?
Okay. Why don't Jews accept the Septuagint? Because it's a corrupt translation. I mean, who would want to accept a translation, especially one that's been corrupted? I mean, you know, if you were married to your wife, would you want to live in separate rooms? Why wouldn't you want the original? Why wouldn't you want the original Hebrew? So the Septuagint is corrupted. Originally, the Septuagint was translated by rabbis about 2,250 years ago, about the year 250 BCE, for the Alexandrian library. That library is destroyed, and we lost that. But that was only the 5 books of Moses. That wasn't Isaiah, Jeremiah, and so on. And then people began to translate Tanakh into Greek, many, many translators. And then Christians began to translate Tanakh into Greek. And that's what the trouble is. So the Septuagint you have that you can buy on Amazon in a bookstore, that translation is a product of the church. It's alien, it's corrupted. But no one, I mean, translation is not a good idea. You know, would you want, when you're speaking to someone that you love, that person says to you something in Chinese, and then someone else translates that into Spanish, and then someone else translates that into Indonesian? I mean, why would you want that? Wouldn't you want to speak directly in the same language? Doesn't even make sense.
Okay, as far as I know, Rabbi, that actually the final Septuagint, which is used for the Old Testament, was actually correction by Hesychius, Origen, and Lucian, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct. That's
Yeah.
right. But Origen is the major. His hand is in the Septuagint more than anyone. Origen was the only church father, except Origen and Jerome. They're the only 2 church fathers that spoke Hebrew, that were completely fluent in Hebrew. That's it. So
I see.
Origen has the greatest. So the Greek translations had been undergoing all changes and changes and changes. And Origen is the one whose influence is greatest on the Septuagint that you can go online, get in a bookstore today. Right.
Rabbi, do you remember this?
Well, let me see. Let me look. I wasn't looking at the thing. Do I remember? Holy smokes, Menachem, how are you?
Salam to you, Rabbi. Nice
God,
to
I
meet
miss
you.
you so
All
much.
this moment. Shalom for all.
Masya Allah.
Wow, I
Masha-
miss you, my dear
Baruch
brother.
Hashem. Baruch
I miss
Hashem.
you so much. Menachem, I miss you a lot.
I also miss you. Exactly, I want to talk to you everything, especially about Judaism, because everyone, Muslim people in Indonesia really need about the information of Judaism. Exactly, this is very important for everyone.
Yeah. I'm very shocked to see Etika and now Menachem. This is like a big present. And when I come to Indonesia, Menachem, you're going to get a very big hug. And just so you know, the viewers know that Menachem is a real scholar. He really is, and studies Hebrew very, very well. He's very, very smart. I mean, you brought on 2 very bright people. Menachem Ali is just brilliant in Hebrew. He really studies very hard, and he's a very dear friend to me, as Etika, very dear. So this is very exciting. So it's wonderful to see you, Menachem, and I hope to see you in Indonesia sometime soon. I look forward to that.
Yeah,
So you
Rabbi.
like my surprise tonight, Rabbi?
What's that?
You like the surprises tonight?
I love that. Keep them going. Go ahead.
Rabbi, that there is maybe 1 or 2 Christian figures that that they know Hebrew. They know Hebrew, they understand Hebrew, but the problem is they don't know Judaism. Maybe only one or two. They know Hebrew, but they do not know Judaism. You see, that's
Right. So
I know that he or she understand Hebrew, but the problem is understanding Hebrew does not mean understanding Judaism. You know, because
let me
they
explain.
need to learn.
Let me explain what's going on. So you have a person who's born into a Christian family, right? And goes through school, and then in college, that's when people could study Hebrew. So you can go to the University of Indonesia and study Hebrew. You can get a PhD in Hebrew, right? You can really do that. But think about at what stage of life is a Christian learning Hebrew? 20 years old, 22 years old, going to university. And by that point, they're already Christians, so they're reading what the text just right back in. They're already committed. They're not making a decision anymore. And that's the danger. That means Christians are not raised in Hebrew. Rather, if a Christian has an opportunity to learn any Hebrew at all, they're doing it as an adult. And at that point, they've already committed themselves to the Christian religion, and it's not easy for them to read through it. And also, most of them are not studying it critically. They're not really reading through the book of Isaiah. They're not really reading through all 66 chapters of Isaiah in Hebrew. That's not what's really going on. So it's true, there are Christians who could study Hebrew. Of course, you could take it at the university in Indonesia and many universities, but most of them could barely read it, and if they can, they already are committed to Christianity. It's not easy.